This news program is proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG.
President Kathlin Novak departs PNG after a 3-day state visit. 14th World Indigenous Business Forum sees successful partnerships formed. And Lelang calls for investigations into allegations of abuse of Australian taxpayers' money. Good evening, this is National Emtv News. I'm Malcolm Waira. Thank you for joining us. Hungarian President Kathlin Novak bid farewell to Papua New Guinea after a remarkable visit to Manus yesterday. She also visited the Port Moresby Nature Park today before departing.
Before departing Port Moresby today, President Novak had a tour of the enchanting Port Moresby Nature Park, accompanied by the Prime Minister James Marape with support from park staff members.
Quarry Park, okay, Quarry Park from secondary school about 15 kilometers from here.
Oh, great.
President Novak told Prime Minister James Marape that she is deeply impressed by the country's rich biodiversity, expressing her admiration, pledged to foster a lasting friendship with Papua New Guinea, emphasizing a personal commitment to nurturing bilateral relations.
She's totally blown away by our culture, by our environment, by our people. And she's made her personal commitment to be a friend of PNG forever. She brought with her her own son, who's 17, and it's just, I said, the son also equally impressed.
Prime Minister Marape stated that the president also invites him to visit Hungary.
And I just want to appeal to our people, leadership like me make contact with other nations. In the process, we channel business, channel visit, channel help into our country. And if I travel to Hungary for a visit, that cost of travel will be far less than the cost of educating the 50 students who will be going to study there. So people need to see in that context.
A departure at the Port Moresby's APEC terminal in Jackson's airport today, concluding a significant diplomatic exchange that has generated confidence for strengthened ties between Hungary and PNG. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
The closing ceremony of the 14th World Indigenous Business Forum at the APEC House last night culminated in a spirited celebration. Delegates from across the world, along with esteemed Papua New Guinean representatives, gathered for a formal dinner followed by a lively beach party, marking the end of the successful business forum.
Minister for Trade and Investment Richard Maru expressed enthusiasm, highlighting the country's effective utilization of the forum to showcase its unique indigenous businesses to the international community over the course of the 3 days event.
We have connected with the World Indigenous Business family. We have been really inspired by all the presentations from around the world and from our own entrepreneurs who come and spoken about their experience and their journey, their struggles and their hardships.
During the closing ceremony, Minister Maru acknowledged the New Zealand delegates and announced that New Zealand have invited PNG women entrepreneurs to New Zealand next year for the Indigenous World Conference.
And I want to say to our lady entrepreneurs who are here this evening, and throughout this summit, your government will get behind you. And we will support our ladies to go down to New Zealand and join our Maori sisters, and the rest of the world will be coming to that meeting. We are ready to back you up in the strongest way possible. We must support our women.
Minister Maru added that he is impressed in the quality and ability of women business entrepreneurs, and with the right support from the government, they can go a long way. The closing ceremony ended with a beach party at the amazing Port Moresby Ella Beach with music performance by PNG contemporary musicians. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, officially announced that PNG will host its Indigenous Business Forum scheduled for next year. The announcement was made during the closing ceremony of the 14th World Indigenous Business Forum yesterday.
World Indigenous Business Forum.
Minister Maru's announcement for PNG Indigenous Business Forum will provide a platform for indigenous entrepreneurs to network, share ideas and explore potential collaborations.
That is Minister responsible for investment and trade. Next year we will organize the first Papua New Guinea Indigenous Business Forum. This is the #1 outcome from this summit. We need to start recognizing our own people and their fine and fantastic effort. Our men, our women, our families and our young people.
Minister for Labour and Employment, Kesi Sawang, expressed their confidence in PNG's ability to showcase its indigenous businesses.
And for Papua New Guinea, we are a nation of indigenous people. The indigenous economy is an $8 trillion economy, right, Rosa? It's an $8 trillion economy. So the indigenous people can trade among themselves. We can create value. We can become the producers and consumers of our own goods and services.
The upcoming forum is expected to serve as a facilitator for economic empowerment and sustainable development within the region. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
Opposition leader Joseph Lelang is calling for investigations into the allegations on the massive abuse of Australian taxpayers' money earmarked for refugee upkeep in Papua New Guinea under the Refugee Resettlement Program. Mr. Lelang said these serious allegations publicly raised by whistleblowers are obviously senior officers in PNG Immigrations and Citizenship Service Authority because the issues raised are not isolated.
The opposition leader says he was aware that the Australian newspaper, The Guardian, has already published the story in Australia. However, the Australian Home Affairs have remained tight-lipped given the code of secrecy in the RRA program. However, the allegations raised issues that the money from Australia was channeled into a trust account created without the approval by the Immigration Board and without the knowledge of the minister. Lelang highlighted that the allegations of selected service providers inflated invoices with excessive amounts to the administrator of the trust account and a very high funds under the disguise of providing services to refugees. Allegations by most of the refugees and many extensively reported in the media expressing concerns that the service provided were nil or limited, and with one refugee reported saying it is like a 1 kina salt is invoiced at 100 kina. Are serious issues that must be investigated. Mr. Lelang said, according to the allegations reported, some prominent people in the business sector, including politicians, were featured in the trust account. Lelang reiterated that more allegations revealing the same people in the trust account are again setting up companies as service providers and siphonning the RRA funds is shocking. The opposition leader said the investigation terms of reference must be extended to cover issuance on contracts for construction of asylum centers linked to Asian fugitives and politicians linked to illegal drugs and recent security contract to manage the Immigration Refugees Detention Center at Bomana. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
The Western Provincial Administration today signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Somare Institute of Leadership and Governance in Port Moresby. This MOU is to foster collaboration between the two entities, where SILAG will provide training for the existing workforce in the Public Service Division within Western Province.
According to the Chief Executive Officer of SILAG, Michael Barobe, this is the second MOU signed since the first signing in 2019. Mr. Barobi highlighted that SILAG used to offer courses that will upskill and equip public servants to be competitive and effective in implementing the national government's plan and policies, as this is what the institute stands for.
This country is changing, and you need people that are well trained in terms of skills and the competencies, and that's what SILAG stands for.
Barobi then challenged other provincial administration to take the same approach.
When you have a competent people, when you have people that has got know-how, you will perform well. There won't be any problem out there. There won't be any complaint. The people are the most important resources that we have in this country, and the public service that we have in the Western Province to realign well, to implement the policies and the plan and the corporate plan that you have.
Western Provincial Administrator Robert Kayan acknowledged the institution and highlighted that this MOU will create pathway for skills development to enhance organizational and worker productivity for current and new generation workforce through the training that SILAG will be providing. He further emphasized on the intent of the MOU, that is to build a relationship between intergovernment agencies and to enhance partnership in building human resource capabilities at the sub-national level.
The human resource of an organization can drive the agenda of development or service delivery. Now, a lot of time we focus on finance, but those finance resources, time can be managed by a very competent and very vibrant workforce.
Administrator Kayan then made a call to the national government to support such initiatives.
Waigani manages policies, while provincial administration, district administration, agencies, and the sub-national, we are managing the people's affairs. And it's equally important that Waigani must continue to cascade out his support to provinces in different spaces of activities. And one of them is critically training. Give us a support to equip our workforce so they can be able to implement national government policy agendas, cascading down to a sub-national level.
This MOU signed will see the public servants from Western Province attain training from the Sumare Institute of Leadership and Governance. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. In the past months, Hela has been described as an outlaw area, having the highest number of law and order cases, especially murder and rape. By seeing this, Chairman of Ambua Youth Development Association in the province came up with an initiative to set up a checkpoint at Ambua, the gateway to Hela province, to check and remove illegal substances from entering the province.
The Ambua checkpoint is the gateway to Hela province and is always busy as the Ambua Youth Development Association guards checks every person and vehicle passing through to ensure no illegal items enter the province. The chairman of the Ambua Youth Development Association, Kul Power, outlined the reasons for having this checkpoint.
Mibla lugos en plan di time mo sa kili mo meri or raping na all barakar na over kiss money every man sa die. So that's why me no lagi sila na me making me changing Hela.
Mr. Power highlighted the illegal substances that they confiscated from entering the province to ensure the province is trouble-free.
Mibla sa sige ma car, marijuana, na gun, bullet, na beer, and mibla sa sige na police tu, ami tu mibla sa sige.
The chairman said they are in operation for 11 months now and they are seeing positive outcome and called on the leaders to support them to carry the work forward for the good of the people in the province. Louis Maingu, National Emtv News.
The Koyari landowners will be staging a peaceful protest on Monday at Unagi Park. This protest comes after Prime Minister James Marape and PNG Power Limited failed to respond to their demands of reinstating Obed Bhatia as CEO for PNG Power Limited.
Spokesperson for the Koyari landowner, Matthias Jack, said they are staging this protest because the office of the Prime Minister has no response to any of their demands they petitioned in a press conference held on Wednesday, the 25th of October. They will petition the Prime Minister, however, they urge the Chief Secretary to receive their petition. Jack said forms have been sent out to all wards in Koyari collecting their signatures as a sign of support. Mr. Jack is urging the people of Central, especially those who signed the petition, to also show up on Monday and give their support. However, Jack strongly spoke that this petition is their last option and they expect the government to respond accordingly. Gladys Kila, National Emtv News.
Neurosurgeons from the Australian charity organisation PNG Angels are in Port Moresby to conduct neurological procedures at the Port Moresby General Hospital. A neurosurgeon is a specially trained medical doctor who diagnoses and treats conditions that affect your nervous system, your brain, spinal cord, and your nerves.
Australian charity organisation PNG Angels is a registered Australian charity with the Australian Charities and Non-Profit Commission. This charity was founded in 2019 by Dr. Mark Coughlan, a neurosurgeon at Gosford Private Hospital in New South Wales. The purpose of founding this charity is to help provide surgical services in Papua New Guinea. According to Dr. Coughlan, since the charity's inception, they have conducted numerous successful operations to patients at Port Moresby General Hospital. Dr. Coughlan said this is the 6th mission in PNG and it was his pleasure to be back in the country. He said this is another unique opportunity to make a difference and offer life-changing interventions to patients. The team comprises of other volunteer medical professionals from Gosford Private Hospital who have travelled to PNG in ensuring that every aspect of patient care is handled in an appropriate manner. The team travelled to PNG twice a year to offer neurosurgical services. However, they are looking forward to grow the number of visits to help meet the needs of neurosurgical services. Yvette Mobbs, director for PNG Angels Charity, said this is a great partnership with Port Moresby General Hospital and thanked the CEO for PMGH, Dr. Molumi, for their support in ensuring the smooth flow of this mission. Mobbs added, more importantly, they will also be conducting training for local medical teams to conduct complex procedures in the future. Gladys Kila, National Emtv News.
The second Jiwaka Provincial Young Women's Leadership Forum is set to take place on the 7th to the 10th of November 2023. This is to ensure women's voices are heard at all levels.
Voice for Change is gearing up to host the second Jiwaka Provincial Young Women's Leadership Forum next month at the provincial headquarters in Kurumul in Jiwaka Province. The forum aims to celebrate and strengthen young women leaders by providing them with a platform to amplify their voices and foster a network for collective actions and celebrate solidarity. The key outcome of this event will be the establishment of a first Jiwaka Rural Young Women's Leadership Conference Interim Committee. This leadership forum is an initiative of Voice for Change in partnership with Australian Foreign Affairs and Trade, Pacific Women Lead, and the International Women's Development Agency. The first Jiwaka Young Women Leadership Forum held last year has paved the way for young women to come together and discuss about the issues affecting them. This year's forum will see over 200 women participating, along with representatives from Jiwaka Provincial Government, civil society organization, non-government organizations, and partners from other development agencies. Voice for Change is a women's human rights organization from Jiwaka province that aims to end all forms of violence and to improve economic, social, and political opportunities for women and girls. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
The official launching of the Baya River, Jimmy River, and Middle Ramu Road project was launched recently at the Ruti Bapit Primary School in Western Highlands Province. The event was officiated by the member for Middle Ramu Council, Harawai Kamdaru, member for Mul Baya Lumusa, Jacob Maki, governor for Western Highlands Province, Wairapa, together with representatives from the Department of Works and others.
With over 2,000 people gathered to witness this significant event that aims to transform the lives by making basic services accessible to communities, this road project is said to cost about 18 million kina. Member for Middle Ramu Council Kamdaru presented a total of 2 million kina to the API builders and constructors to commence the project. Kamdaru says Middle Ramu is located in between Jiwaka, Enga and Western Islands Province and has been struggling for so long in accessing basic services. With faith and courage given by God, the member remained determined to deliver all the basic services to these people. Kamdaru then acknowledged the Mulbaya Lumusa District Development Authority, Western Islands Provincial Government, Madang Provincial Government and Middle Ramu DDA for the support towards his district in this road project. He highlighted that this road is a corridor for Western Islands Province and Madang Province to have access to better services. Member for Mulbaya, Jacob Maki, assured Kamdaru his full support and commitment to ensure this project comes into fruition. Maki urged the people not to claim compensation for effective workflow. Adding on, Governor for Western Islands Province Wairapa says Madang Baya Highway was mentioned everywhere, but there was no better progress with the road. Rapa thanked Kamdaru for their effort in commencing the road project and pledged his support. Rapa says they will not wait for the government, rather utilize their own resources to start up the road project. Governor Rapa announced a funding commitment of 500,000 kina towards the road project, followed by Jacob Maki, who also made a funding commitment of 500,000 kina on top of that commitment following previous 500,000 kina commitment. A total of 1.5 million kina funding commitment were made to the people of Mulbaya Lumusa and Middle Ramu by Governor Rapa and Jacob Maki. Sharon Engnui, National Emtv News.
The Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Law and Order completed Day 4 of the Momase regional consultations yesterday in Lae. Chairman William Bando and his committee members heard from Lillian Waruba, Legal and Policy Acting Secretary of Law and Justice, who explained that laws have been in place and penalties have increased, however, must be enforced at all levels.
Other speakers included 2 ex-servicemen that recommended that an auxiliary police force be implemented at the village level to engage youth, to be trained and ready to assist. Also present were the National Youth Services, who have been working throughout the country, making sure that there are community-level projects which are highly effective in reducing crime. The committee also asked the general public a series of questions, including their views on corporal punishment. A vote was taken by show of hands, and the majority agreed that corporal punishment should be enforced. Chairman Bando assured the public that the committee will take this as the feedback that Morobe Province agrees on corporal punishment and will consult the law and justice sector as well. The day ended with a visit to Buimo Jail in West Taraka, Lae City, where the committee had the grievances of inmates and the reasons why so many outbreaks occur. Chairman Bando said this was the first time any parliament has sat with prisoners, and it was good to hear them express their worries. Amanda Ilaitia, National Emtv News.
Now we take a look at the Nest Fund market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2695 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2620, 0.411 Australian dollars, 0.2406 euro, 39.08 Japanese yen. Looking at the commodity prices, at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. Local company Bismarck Engineering, spearheading the Kul Hydro Power project between the borders of Southern and Western Highlands provinces, has taken the lead support to the government's vision of electrifying 70% of the population in the country.
Now, the Kul Hydro Power project, established in the late 1970s here in the Southern Highlands province, the project was taken up by SMEC before Elcom PNG, which is now known as PNG Power, took over the project to carrying out feasibility studies and also the design stages. But over the last 40 years, the project was not completed. Now, with the current power project issues in the country, the Papua New Guinea government is still experiencing issues with PNG Power trying to electrify 70% of Papua New Guinea, a project the government is still yet to achieve.
The company that I'm working with, we've carried out a couple of studies back in 2007. And it is this project, the Kul Hydro project, is one of our ticket projects. It's one of the major projects that we are embarking on. And we are happy to say that now we have completed the traceable drilling. And we're looking forward to the next stage.
Me as a PRO, Tintilo safety blow when the power ground issue, you all go past Lolly Mall. This is a service that a lifetime in country and big service and population benefiting the features from here long. In future na street law. Also na people come say about 8 months here.
We have a lot of challenges, especially through landowners, especially through land negotiations and land acquisition. Through our work, I can say that it's not that that's easy. The project comes with a lot of challenges.
Now, with Core Pacific finishing the drilling stages of the Kul Hydro Power project here in Southern Highlands, the other big project that also needs to be carried out on the ground is social mapping. Now, this is where clans in the area will need to do clan vetting, as well as knowing the number of population here in the communities that are involved or surrounded by the project itself.
You mean talk also 40 years ago, all white man come now, give one feasibility studies too now, all go now, damage the environment, blah blah blah. All lose him go.
What I'm giving me long time stop now. 1970.
Now, local communities living here between the borders of Southern Highlands and Western Highlands provinces, they are happy that the completion of the drilling stages is done and social mapping to take place anytime soon. Godwin Eki, National MTV News, Southern Highlands.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Approximately a month and a week remaining before the 2023 PNG Games kicks off, and the Games Council is calling on the provinces to fast-track their entry requirements as soon as possible.
Approximately 40 days remaining before the 8th PNG Games kicks off in December, and the PNG Games Council Chairman Albert Veratau reiterated calls for provinces to fast-track their entry requirement submissions, as it is important in getting teams ready before December 6, 2023. Mr. Veratau reminds all provincial sports officers and provincial team managers to complete and send in their requirements by today. The information will greatly assist with the planning of the Games, and it is vital that information is quickly sent to the Games Operations Committee office. Entry by name so far are from Central, Ella, Jiwaka, Medeng, Manus, Milenbe, and Sidi, Simbu, and Western Province. The remaining 13 provinces are advised to finalize and complete their requirements as soon as possible. Louis Maingu, Trukai Sports.
Hela has been described as an outlaw province in the country. Hence, a youth leader has engaged youths in sporting activities to drive change and peace into the communities.
The leader for Ella Boxing for Peace, Bostoni Elo, explained that they are trying to engage youth in sporting activities to reduce lawlessness in the province. So far, he has seen good turnout and some positive changes in the communities. Mr. Elo said this concept is basically to create awareness for peace as well as addressing law and order through sports.
Me using Islam boxing as a sport tools to inspire upcoming generation or some sport power peace. So was Mr. Togosem, you like can fight law ring. You're not going to fight him, Mary, fight him man. You like fight law ring, na lare mi black and fame you fight blow you. So in this last strong message me black put him na. This whole message one time peace education program, mindset sensing program.
Adding that he has recruited and trained a squad to participate in the upcoming PNG Games in the code of boxing.
Me got 9 girls about fight on different kgs, 49 to 81 plus kgs. Na 10 boys about 49 to 91 plus kgs. So in this level fighters, heavyweight to flyweight, me ready finish na meeting lo carry more goal PNG Games. Lo team lo me bla tokosem. Ella peace, Ella sport power peace program.
He hopes that the squad will put a good fight and drive a positive awareness of peace to the people of Ella and country as a whole. Louis Maingu, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. For the southern region, Port Moresby City, partly cloudy with chances of few showers. Daru, mostly fine. Kerama, partly cloudy with few showers tonight. Alotau and Popondetta, few showers. To the Momasa region, Ley City, few showers. Medeng, a shower or two. Wewak and Vanimo, few showers and possible thunderstorms. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Keviang, showers and rain drizzles. Kokop and Rabaul, cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Kimbe, partly cloudy with possible shower or two. Buka, few showers and thunderstorms. To the Highlands region, Mount Agan City, rain showers and thunderstorms. Goroka and Kundiawa, few showers and possible thunderstorms. Mendi and Wabeg, some showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Friday, the 27th of October, 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG.